So Jisung, you moved to the United States when you were 12 and you lived in New York with your family. This was until you returned back to Korea. So how did you actually become a Korean liquor sommelier?
So when I came to Korea, I wanted to learn as much as possible on very Korean traditional stuff that I could only get in Korea. So I started taking Korean Buddhist temple food, which is Korean style vegan food cooking, for about a year. And it was really fun. I always loved food and drinks. So for me, learning about a new type of cuisine was quite fun for me. Then from there, I moved on to how to make tteok, which is rice cake. And then moved on to Korean traditional snacks like hangwa. And they were all very interesting. And the more I learned about it, it all involves on fermentation. So then I wanted to learn more about how to make chang, which is soybean paste, and gochujang and so on. Then I guess the last step is alcohol. So, as I mentioned before, I went to the pairing event, and that's when I was really mesmerized with how can a single, ingredient like rice could give such a different flavor and complexity. And that's why I decided to learn more and just continue from there.
Now, I understand that you won a gold prize at a contest. It was at the Korea Best Sommelier contest. Now, this was in the foreign participants category. So please tell us about this contest.
So each year, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fishery and the Food Trade Corporation of Korea host a Korean traditional liquor sommelier competition. So there is the Korean section, and then there is the foreigner section. And because I'm U.S. citizen, I went on to the foreigner section.
I see.
And it requires three steps. The first stage is a written exam on the history and the knowledge of the brewing.
Oh, wow.
And then the second is blind tasting. So I have to guess what the alcohol is, the maker, the alcohol percentage, and the ingredients, and so on. And lastly, the third stage is I actually need to go on to the stage in front of the judges and the audience. And there are a number of questions on what is this drink? Tell us about it on spot. I also need to give recommendation on what food will go with it. So that's when I went through, and thankfully I won the first place.
Wow.
제7회 국가대표 전통주 소믈리에 대회 외국인 본부 영예검사 정지성.
네, 축하드립니다. 한국인뿐만 아니라 외국인에게도 널리 한국 그 전통주를 홍보하는 일을 열심히 하겠고요.
That's amazing. I mean, how long did it take you to prepare for this contest?
So since I gained my interest in Korean alcohol in 2014, I've never stopped taking classes on brewing and also cooking to learn how to pair food and drinks together. And I also learned about sake, wine, and beer to broaden my knowledge in different perspectives. But to prepare for the competition, I really went through 2 months of boot camp that I will meet with a small study group, and we will meet once a week, and we, not kid you, we tried 40 drinks each session, and we had to memorize the flavor, the characters, and then the last 3 weeks we did blind tasting of those 40 different kinds of drinks.
Wow. It's amazing the kinds of questions they ask you, of course.
Yes.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I understand that not so long ago you also publicized Korean, liquor to foreigners at a gallery called Sul Gallery. So
Yes.
tell us about this experience. Were there any frustrating moments or memorable moments that you would like to mention here?
Yes. So I just finished my time at the Seoul Gallery. I've worked there as a Korean rice wine sommelier for English program and the Korean program. The fun moment for me is So we're starting to get more people from the industry who wanted to carry Korean rice wine at their restaurant. And with the recent Michelin Guide star coming to Korea last year, I guess there are more demands from actually foreigners visiting Korea who will go to these Michelin restaurants and ask for Korean specific drinks.
Yes.
So these staffs from Michelin star restaurants will come to the Seoul Gallery and they want to learn more about the Korean rice wine and the liquor. So I actually got to say that I trained these staff at the Michelin star restaurants in Korea.
Wow, wonderful. So, what would you say is the charm of Korean traditional wines or just overall in general Korean liquor?
For me, it's because of the history. Well, yes, I am Korean and this is a Korean product, but there's actually quite long history behind it. And the more I learn about things, there is more to than just the history. There is this whole science behind the fermentation and how, back in the days, people without the whole science knowledge, they were doing things naturally that were actually quite helpful for fermentation and whatnot. And I thought that was always quite fascinating. And then there's the legacy. I think it's quite important to keep something that's, started from back to, preserve to now, but it's for me. This legacy is not about keeping how in the old traditional way. It's more of how do I interpret it in the modern sense and pass on to the next generation. So it's the legacy, the story, and sharing with people that I'm fascinated with.
Yes, I can feel that you really, really enjoy what you do. Now, Korea is one of the countries that happens to have the highest alcohol consumption rates in the world. We love to drink. Many Koreans are social drinkers. We enjoy each other's company, having a few drinks together, and we even say we become friends after having a few drinks together. But it seems as though, although people enjoy drinking, not as many people know much about traditional rice wines or traditional liquors. What do you think can be done, or what do you think we should do to kind of raise that interest in people?
Right. The reason why people don't know so much about these Korean rice wine and liquor is because of the history. For about the past 100 years, Korean rice wine and the liquor went through restriction and prohibition period. So these were just gone in the market for about 100 years, which is 3 generations, is long forgotten. So now that it's coming back, I think, people need to see this more often everywhere. So I would love to see this easily, spotted at convenience stores and marts and restaurants. And I hope that, the staffs working at these restaurants not only just bring whatever the customers order to the table, but also explain what this is about and, how they can, the consumers can enjoy the drinks better and give, offer recommendations.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we go to have wine, for example, we always, or almost always have someone telling us about which part of which country this is from, and they tell you about the taste. So yeah, hopefully that day will come very, very soon.
Yes.
I heard that you also have immediate plans as Korean liquor sommelier, so tell us about that.
So with the soy and rice, I will be going around to different restaurants and hotels. I already have a few clients lined up to educate the staff on Korean liquor. And then I will be going to the Philippines to host an exhibition on Korean rice wine and liquor at the Philippines Korean Cultural Center. So I'm really excited for the opportunity. And then thirdly, in September, there will be a event called Seoul Bar Week held in Korea. So essentially, it's a convention for professional bartenders and people who are interested in drinks. And during that week, I will be teaching about Korean rice wine and liquor.
Okay, and perhaps how soju or different Korean liquors can be used to make cocktails?
Yes, for the exact reason.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. Well, once again, time is up, so we're going to have to say goodbye, but I wish you the best of luck with your Korean culture centers, I hope. As you said, you want to open up your first one in the U.S.
Yes.
Hope we'll get to see many, many more popping up here and there around the globe. And also best of luck too with your exhibition in the Philippines. Thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다.
고맙습니다.